Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam. Hello. Vegan Steven Podcast is a parody of a podcast. Vegan Steven is a fictional character. All characters and events in the show, even those based on real people, are entirely fictional. Celebrity voices are impersonated. Even those based on real people are entirely fictional. Poorly. The following program contains coarse language and dangerous content should not be viewed by anyone. Alright, today's date is I don't know, but it is 11:50, that is 10 minutes to 12, it is April 2020, is the 9th of April. And fucking some scary shit's going on. A lot of emergency laws are coming in. People's information being taken who normally would be good at avoiding the law. I don't know. Is it turning everyday people into criminals, or is it just taking part of who knows? RTE business expects to be closed for up to 3 months. Oh my god. Alright, 1 billion of supports ready for COVID-19 impact SMEs. I don't know SMEs. Almost 80% of Northern Ireland businesses plan for furlong employees. Now, furlong, I've never heard that word before in my life. Let's find out what furlong means. Oh, darling. Furlong is a measure of distance in imperial units, and the US customer units equal to 1/8 of a mile, equivalent to 660 feet, 200 yards, 40 rods. What the fuck is 40 rods? Who counts distance in 40 rods? Can you imagine, jeez, how many yards would they say that be in something like, oh, Jesus, that's fucking 15 rods. What the fuck is 15 rods? 10 chains. What do you mean 10 chains? Or approximately 201 meters. Who calculates distances in chains and rods? I'm dying to know. I'm already intrigued. I'm in. I'm all in. This is... Jesus Christ. A chain is a larger unit of length, measuring 66 feet. That's a unit. That's a rod. A chain is 66 feet. Oh, hang on. A chain and a rod are both the same unit. It's 66 feet. A chain, however, is 22 yards. I don't understand. Where did this even come from? Who measures stuff in chains and rods? I'm dying to know. It must be something to do back in the old days with boats or something. Chains. Who measures stuff with chains and rods? A rod or a perch pole, sometimes a lug, is a surveyor's tool. Jesus. Alright. Chain. A chain has to do with if it's it's over a curved line, so you would need a bit of rope for measuring that. Alright. Okay, they got away with it. Man, an English mile. In 1593, the English mile was referred to as the state of... Lads, what is going on? It just goes to prove people are making this shit up as they go along. Alright. I'm looking up external thoughts, but all I can find is external processing. Let's find out what we got going on here, ladies and gentlemen. All I have is external processes. They say whether you are thinking and may not even argue with every word you say. External thinkers share their thoughts with anyone who will listen. They do not require as much safety, but safety is still important. They have too broad a scope to their thinking. Jesus. A better way to communicate with external thinkers. What the fuck? People keep telling me, I was trying to put a definition on the show, and they said, oh yeah, the show's Vegan Steven Podcast just about external thoughts. I was like, what? What even are external thoughts? So let's have a look at this. How do thoughts affect the brain? Not exactly what I was looking for. What is external processing? External processing, on the other hand, means that in order to understand how you feel about something, you prefer to talk about it with someone else or even yourself. There you have it. Alright, what's going on in the news? Vegan news. Gary Yulkovic comes out of retirement. Never heard of him, but he's in vegan news. Fair play to him. And then we got a load of ads to do with vegan stuff, like, oh, you can buy this vegan food and you can buy this vegan food. So, for me, the whole vegan thing was just, getting away from corporatism and all this shite. But vegans seem to love getting corporate and having... Alright, I don't fucking know. I don't know. All articles are... Yeah, alright. Moving on. Business news. Businesses expect to close for 3 months. Happy days. So, bit of holidays. Bank puts business owners on hold for a month on COVID finance. Alright, there you are. Businesses expect to close for 3 months. Alright, 1 billion for... What really confused me is when they're like, oh, Oxfam came out with a thing there saying, we need 5 billion to... What was it? Welfare supports could cost 5 billion, Oxfam's poverty warning says. So I don't know if that's in Africa or what. But what I'm trying to know is, where's this 5 billion coming from? Like, who's lending out money right now? I think you get it from the World Bank. Economics and stuff just fucking melts my mind. Like, where's this money coming from? They're saying, oh yeah, it's fucking borrowed, but who's borrowing? Everyone used to borrow money off China. I think, how much? Where's China world's debt? China world debt. Jesus, China world debt clock. Oh my god. Oh my lords. So everyone owns China a lot of money. A lot of money. Alright, let's see. USDebtClocking.org. Oh my god. 24... Where's a million? It's constantly going up. They got... Oh my god. I'm looking up Japan. USA owns 24... I guess that's billion or trillion? I don't know, it's 24, then there's 3 zeros, then there's 3 zeros, then there's 3 zeros, then there's 3 zeros. And it's just, the numbers are just running up, like. There just must be fucking empty in the fucking vault. US debt clock. This is, everyone's fucking, all the countries are going into debt. Like, every single one of them are just borrowing money right now. I know this is probably normal. But as someone who's not used to fucking looking at all this debt, Ireland owns 223. That's so many zeros. How do you even calculate that many zeros? There's 223, then 3 zeros, then 3 zeros, then 3 zeros, and it's constantly like just flying up. The numbers are just fucking going up. Boy, jeez, I don't even know how to calculate this. Like, it's just... How do you... There's too many zeros to count. Yeah. Why is everyone borrowing from China? Right, everyone's borrowing from China. I don't know. It just seems fucking a bit weird. Where... I'm just like, where does this money come from? Borrowed, I guess. Where do countries borrow money? Generally, like you'd have to buy a gaff or something. You borrow a few bob off the bank. Well, countries have to borrow money as well. But if all the countries are borrowing money off each other, then who actually has the fucking money? How do I borrow money from a bank? No. Where do countries borrow money? Let's find out, baby. Where do countries borrow money, baby? A country can borrow money from its own governmental institutions and subsidiaries. The US, for instance, owns around 53 trillion no, sorry, 5.3 trillion to a number of its own federal aid. How it owns money to itself? Jesus, which accounts for nearly 30% of the total financial federal debt. So, this might sound really like, but you know the way, like, if you take out a load of money and then you can't pay your mortgage, someone comes to take you out of your house. Is that not the same way it works with countries? Like, if you get a load of debt, the people just, right, you're not paying your fucking taxes or whatever, like. Okay, here's one. If all countries are in debt, who the fuck do they borrow from? This makes no sense. Alright. I said, listen, what do I know? I'm just looking for shock value or something, like, don't get fucking worried. Science, abc.com, social science, if all countries are in debt, how do they borrow money from? Alright, so some kind of article or some shit. Let's see what else we've going on. As of January 2018, the US had a national debt of around 20 trillion and the UK has a US 2.5 trillion debt. Japan has around US 9.5 trillion debt and China has roughly 4.6 trillion debt. And India's national debt stands approximately 1.1 trillion. Can you imagine owing someone a trillion? Jesus, you couldn't be getting a night's sleep. You wouldn't get a wink, like. How do they pay these things? Like, do they pay like, oh, I'm paying you back €2 a week, or like, does the debt just stay there? I'm so confused. It is used for geopolitical power because, for example, China. Everyone's just fucking paranoid as fuck about China right now. China was opening up a lot of harbours. They lent a lot of money to Australia, parts of Africa, and they opened up ports all over the place. China ports, DEBIT. They open up how they do it is they give outlandish loans to China goes to a country like fucking Nigeria or something. Is Nigeria even a country? Sorry, I'm going blank here. So they go to China and they go to this country and they go, listen, we'll give you a load of money to build a port, and then they build a port and the country cannot pay back the debt. So China goes, oh, that's fine, let us use the port or something and we'll cancel the debt or something like that. And then China has like a port on like worldwide. They're talking about building like a new Silk Road and all this shit, like anyway, just so people are getting very paranoid about China and they're going, listen, they're taking over and all this shite. So a lot of paranoia about China, I must admit. Americans are very likely to get 1,000 or more, says Trumpy boy. Damage to Israel's economy established at 12 billion. Korea hurls more cash at economic crisis relief. But as I keep saying, like, I know this is very simplistic, but where's that? I'm just so confused. Where's this money? So the Federal Reserve seems to borrow money off itself. How does that even work? How do you borrow money from yourself? Like, anyway, listen. I'm sure it's a logical explanation for all this. As of January 2018, I've already read this. China has roughly US 4.6 trillion in debt. Alright, so it was 4.6 trillion and now it's, let me go back to this clock. I think it was like, the clock went missing. I read it out already. These are some of the largest economic powers in the world. So, Jesus. As the debt clearly, so the US has some of the best debt credit in the world because it's never not paid a debt in the last 100 years or something, so it's seen as very quality good debt to have. As with China's seen as, very good debt to have before the coronavirus. These are some of the largest world's economic powers. There are some of the largest economic players in the world. Grand. As the data clearly... they got loads of money. Okay. Intergovernmental holdings. Let's find out this. Intergovernmental holdings. A country can borrow money from its own government. How can you borrow money from yourself? Or subsidiaries? I guess that's just... I don't understand. The US, for instance, owes about 5.6 trillion to a number of its own federal agencies. Which... Is that like borrowing money from the post office and the hospital? I don't understand. Owes around 5.6 trillion to a number of its own federal agencies, which accounts for nearly 30% of its total federal debt. If you have a thing for fancy words, you could say 30% of the US national debt is locked into intra-governmental holdings. Yeah, so why would the government own money to its own name? Makes no sense! It just seems like basic, like, you know, if you went into a bank and suggested this, they're just like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. Do you know, it just seems like something, it just seems silly. But again, I know nothing about this, we'll find out. This is an interesting question. It just seems like something you'd be locked up for if you tried to do it yourself, like, just, you know, that kind of way. I have an amazing cup today, by the way. It has little unicorns on it. And then the more sips you take, the unicorn kind of pops its head up. It's actual unicorn inside the fucking cup. So as you're sipping away, the coffee goes away and you see more of the unicorn. I don't know that, but it's absolutely brilliant. Okay, here we go. It's an interesting question. The thing is that some governmental agencies, such as Social Security Trust Fund and the Office of Personal Management they borrow money from their retirement funds. Make far more revenue from taxes than they actually need. Oh, cheeky. Inflated taxes. Thus, instead of hiding all the surplus cash under the mattress, what? These agencies could buy US T-bonds, usually in the way to help governmental... in the 2008 crash, drug money was used to prop up the financial economy. And where am I getting this information? From a TV show called Ozark. Which is, I don't know how reliable that is, but yeah. There you are. So people with dodgy money under their mattress are suggested that they buy US bonds, which is something that goes on during wartime. People are encouraged to buy, to invest in a country that these bonds, possibly worth fuck all. Who knows? Instead of hiring surplus of cash under the mattress, these agencies could buy US T-bonds. So possible drug money. Who knows? Is this money laundering? I don't know. In this way, they help the government with its expenses. Oh, isn't that lovely? Aww. And also get a decent interest rate on their money they had to lend. Alright, so it just seems like you're borrowing money with one hand, throwing away. Oh, Jesus Christ. What was it? Borrowing money off Paul to pay Sam or something. Just seems like a never-ending pyramid scheme. In foreign countries, as you can imagine, a sizable portion of the country's national debt is held by other countries. This portion falls under debt held by the public. The US, for example, owes the US... How can the US owe the US? It makes no sense. How do you take a loan from yourself? Like, anyway, the US, for example, owes the US 1,176 billion. At least not to mainland China. The numbers keep changing. I'm probably just, to be honest, I haven't looked at this before, so I'm just learning. US 1,800 billion to Japan. So they owe a load of money to Japan. Oh god. But then Japan's borrowing money off China, and it's just like, fuck, everyone's just borrowing money. Alright. Let's see. US 320 billion to Ireland. Whoa. How does America's borrowing money off Ireland? US 328 billion to Ireland, and similar amounts on other of billions to other foreign countries. So how do these countries actually lend money to the US? Why is Ireland lending money to America? And America's still like the big boy. Surely if you're the one lending money, you're the big man. So, like, if America doesn't pay its debt, does that mean Ireland gets, like, fucking Chicago or something? Like, what the fuck? How's this work? The United States of America, $10,000. So, as a picture of the bond here, the coupon bond, alright? So, you can buy stocks in the country. Alright? So, that's how it was big in the world wars and stuff. People were encouraged to buy government bonds to help prop up the country, and it all seems fucking brilliant, you know what I mean? Until you start getting a bit selfish and you're kind of like, oh geez, what's going on here? But is it every man's for itself? Or young people are more every man for themselves, and as you get older you have more life experience and you realise it's really everyone's helping each other out, and when you fuck other people over, you're just fucking yourself over and stuff. Anyway, in 1979, the US Treasury bond. Countries may buy a large number such of bonds, thereby lending money to the distributor nation of such bonds. Alright, now just to give this a little bit of context on how this is, why this has confused me, just on the very front page of the journal.ie, it's like an Irish website that people go to for their news or whatever. It's not state run, but it is heavily censored, which confuses me. But anyway, welfare supports could cost 5 billion. Oxfam's poverty warning or whatever. Alright, so we need 5 billion, and where the fuck is it coming from? Well, it looks like we have to borrow it from fucking China and England, but every country is hit by the coronavirus. So how are you supposed to borrow 5 billion? Like, who are you going to borrow 5 billion off if no one has money? Who are you going to borrow money off? Maybe it's just like, you know, when you go to a shop and you're like, you buy a few messages and it's put on the account and you're like, right, I'll pay it off at the end of the month. Maybe it's just like that. You know, that kind of way. You get an account, you get a tab, you buy a beer and you like put it on the tab. Anyway, listen, I don't know, it just doesn't seem logical. Do you know what I mean? It seems like I don't understand. But you don't understand anything the first time you look at it, so here we go. Debt is usually issued through the US Treasury notes bonds, which these foreign countries do is that they buy US Treasury bonds, casually referred to as T-bonds. Treasury bonds are considered liquid assets. What's that even mean, liquid assets? As they can be readily sold and don't generally lose value. That is very interesting. Except in certain unforeseen events such as fucking coronavirus. Sorry, being negative there. Such as the great economic slowdown in 2008. So yeah, drug money used to prop up the US economy. Mental. Bonds. Money laundering. Money under the mattress. Oh my god. Like, fucking hell. So, drugs are bad unless the government needs money, in which case drug money is good. So it just seems like they're making up as they go along. But who knows? Fucking hell, let's find out. Apparently we're always like 2 degrees off utter chaos and the World Bank's just shutting down. It's like called the world clock, the world ending clock or something. Ending clock. Countdown. So, the doomsday clock. The doomsday clock is a symbol that represents the likelihood of man-made global catastrophe, maintained since 1947 by the members of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. The clock is a metaphor of threats to human unchecked scientific and technical advances. So the closest it was. What does 2 minutes to midnight mean? Oh my god, yeah, that's to do with the world ending. A protest song about nuclear war, 2 minutes to midnight, was written by South. Yada 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 yada. A symbolic clock used by the button represents the countdown to. Man, you hear that a lot. 2 minutes, don't you? You hear that a good bit. 100 seconds until the world ends. It's very interesting. About the time the world clock was closest to, you know, finishing or whatever. It's 2.5 minutes until midnight. Jesus Christ. Was during the. Oh, sorry. I think we have it here. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay. The doomsday clock. Okay. So 7 it's. Let me just check this out now. Just want to get all these dates and fucking hell. In 1949, 3 minutes and under. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, so here's some, you know, highlights of the fucking thing. Soviet's first nuclear test, and that was in 1949. So 1949, where's that on the clock? 1949. So it's about 7 minutes to midnight. Alright, Jesus Christ. US threats hydrogen bomb in 1953. That is 1953 is 2 minutes to midnight. Jesus Christ. US-Soviet relations reach lowest point. 1984, that's 3 minutes to midnight. Climate change and nuclear concerns, 2015. That is at like 3 minutes to midnight. So there's a big battle there between what's the fucking North Korea and America, and they're both threatening to fucking bomb each other there fucking 3 years ago. Apparently that was the closest it's ever been to fucking doomsday. But anyway, how would you even sleep thinking about this shit? You know what I mean? Like, sure, the wife could die of cancer any fucking minute. Do you know what I mean? Your kids could fucking get hit down. Yeah, every day is a fucking blessing, man. Every day is a fucking blessing. And it's fucking, life's just fucking amazing. You only get it once, man. And it's fucking, it's too easy to get fucking caught up in external thoughts and just go, oh jeez, what's the point in fucking and you can do that, but you're not going to end up leaving the gaff, are you? Citizens. Yes, even citizens of a nation lend money to the government. What? Which adds to the national debt. What? If I told you that you lend money to the government which aids to its debt, what are these lads up like? Alright. I'm sure this is all if anyone knows about economics, they're probably like, oh yeah, like how do you think the world worked? But this just sounds like fucking dodgy. Everyone owing money to each other. Everyone having nuclear fucking bombs threatening to bomb each other. Anyway, that's only 1 or 2 countries. The other major player who lends money to a nation is the general public. The debt held by public forms a major chunk of the total debt of a country, just like foreign countries. People can also buy bonds issued by the government, thus lending it money. Alright, a lot of people want to loan money to governments. Whoa, do they? I think it's because you get the best interest rates, don't you? Because they know that they will get their money back. Only with certain countries, though. Interesting. Along with some handsome interests. Apparently with loans with China you can never cash them. You can only trade them. You can never cash out. So, and the Chinese economy is artificially inflated, as is typical in the stock market for airlines. Airlines buy up their own stocks to artificially inflate their price, and it's literally like releasing a CD, a really shit song, like, oh, I love coronavirus, and then no one wants to buy it, so you buy your own single 10,000 times so it goes to number 1, and other people go, oh geez, that must be good, and then they start listening to it, and that goes on in the music industry, and you can just imagine how it goes on everywhere else. A lot of people want to loan money. Jeez, yeah. So to be honest, by the end of this article, I'm going, jeez, I might But I might lend €5. I've got €5 under the bed there. I might empty the piggy bank, lend to the government there now. A lot of people want to loan money to governments because, so basically you can't really cash, when you buy bonds, you can't really cash out. You can only swap them for like a car or something. I don't know. Ever heard of debt mutual fund? That sounds like an awful idea. This kind of fund primarily invests in a mix of debt and fixed income securities. Oh Jesus. Such as governmental security, treasury bonds, corporate bonds. This fund generally has a fixed rate of interest and was largely considered a safe investment. There's no such thing as a safe investment. Will you ever cop on? Because, well, it is an investment in the government. Yeah, well, the government, it's like investing in some things that can't fail because they're going to get propped out by the government investing in a bank or something. I don't know. I don't usually lend people money, but when I do, I only lend it to the government. That's an interesting quote. As a list of links here, like Treasury Direct Gov, US, Pennsylvania, Booking Institution, University of Texas. So there's some references for you. So if you invest in the debt mutual fund, you essentially lend money to your government. This is just a brief outline of a few major sources of the country's debt. In reality, a country's debt is an insanely complicated entity comprising hundreds of contributors and substantiaries. A nation borrows money from many of its sources and uses it to meet its expenses, most of which are ultimately targeted towards the growth of its own economy and people. I don't know, it sounds like a great idea and also like an awful idea at the same time. It literally just sounds like cheating, and because it is cheating, isn't it? They're just lying to themselves, kind of. I don't know, fuck. I can't figure it out. Alright, let's have a little look at this article. So it goes on about fucking lending money to Oxfam or something. Let's find out what it has to say. There's a video there. People driving down the street. I thought there was a travel ban, but people are driving down the street with Mother Mary attached to the roof, going fucking saying prayers because people's souls need to be saved. So give this a little bit of fucking context. People in Ireland are driving down the street, shouting out the window, fucking Hail Marys, and just going religion and stuff. Yeah. I can only imagine what would happen if I went down the street shouting some things I believe in, man. I'd be locked up. I wouldn't make it fucking 2 feet. Because, Jesus Christ. How fucking bonkers would you have to be to go down the street fucking shouting whatever beliefs you believe in? Like, you might think you're all, like, some people think, oh yeah, I'm fucking Christian or whatever. But can you imagine if it was a different religion doing that? Pick any religion. They wouldn't last long. People around Ireland are staying at home, and they're doing a bit. They're watching the old. It's like watching the football. Some people watch the old mass. All right, and some people, all they have is religion. And there's been times in my life which, to me, religion is like fucking opium, and Karl Marx says religion is the opium of the people. And to be honest, I'd rather be hooked on opium than hooked on religion, because it just seems like you actually get a bit of crack out of opium. Religion just makes you feel bad, guilty. But listen, who knows? Let's just double check that quote. Karl Marx. Opium is the something of the people. Opium is a cousin drug of heroin, by the way. It's in a lot of German philosopher Karl Marx. Religion is the wrong answer to the religion is the religious word is but the reflex of the real world. According to Karl Marx, religion is like other social institutions in that it is dependent upon the material and economic realities given a society. It has no independent history. Instead, it is the creative of productive forces. Yeah, so Karl Marx was big into communism, alright? So if you're not into communism, is not your bag. Religion as opium of the people, Karl Marx there. So Karl Marx what do I say about Karl Marx? When you think of communism, maybe think of Karl Marx. I don't know. See, the thing about communism is it's a great idea, but when you contribute in human nature, unfortunately, just like a lot of things, like it's a fucking brilliant idea. Like let's all fucking give to each other and fucking free love and all this stuff. But in reality, people get jealous in relationships and they don't want people sleeping around. They want fucking their kids to be safe and they don't like insecurity and whatever. I'm getting off topic. Karl Marx, anyway. So a bit of communism. There you are. Back in my prime now, I was thinking, geez, communism's brilliant. But the more you look into it and the more you study. What did Karl Marx believe in? Marxists believe that the socialist society is far better for the majority of the populace than the capitalist counterpart. Prior to the Russian Revolution in 1917, Lenin wrote, "The socialism of production is bound to lend to the conversion of its means by production into property of society." Here's a little thing that'll blow your mind. What's it? Holland? Royal family. Holland, by the way, in case you didn't know, just invented its fucking monarchy. Like, there was no one, and they thought, right, it'll look good if we get a fucking does Holland have a royal family? Are the Dutch royal family related to the British royal family? Who's the current king and queen of the Netherlands? It's not just fucking bonkers. Like, they were like, right, we need a monarchy to look good, so they fucking got one. The royal family, Holland, is fairly young monarchy, yeah, because they didn't exist. The Kingdom of Netherlands was established in 1815. The King William I was under first ruler. The monarch has limited power, and the king has immunity, so you can go around raping and pillaging. It's fucking grand. But the real power lies within the ministers. Oh my god. So it's like the Irish president or something. Doesn't do much, but he looks good. Isn't that mad? To be honest, the royal family is just fucking gross me out. Like, apparently they were like, right, we need a royal family. There's this English lad who's done a lot of us for our country. We'll just fucking get his relatives in and they can be our royal family. Oh, Jesus. There we go. I don't know, sorry. Just, it's part of human nature, isn't it? We see someone with more shit than you, we're like, damn, I want their shit. They must be happy all the time, and here's me, not happy. The grass is always greener and all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking that you can see fucking the monarch's birthday is celebrated with car boot sale. Alright, they don't wear crowns because they're not fucking aristocracy. Sorry. Part of their kingdom is in the Caribbean. They have a habit of marrying undesirables. Well, they're not undesirables themselves, so fucking like attracts like. The new king is 800. The children go to state school. Oh, it's not fucking, yeah. They have normal jobs. Oh, Jesus. They're a bit political. They're determined to be groovy. Oh, I'm sorry. You know yourself. You see, I don't know. here's something mad, right? England took over fucking Australia, right? And Australia, many years later, England took over fucking America. They started sending a lot of prisoners to America. Then they started sending, and China lent them America a lot of money. Then fucking Australia was getting all its prisoners taken over by England, and England started sending over a load of fucking prisoners to Australia. You know, fucking load of messing between China and Australia. But back to the point I'm making is, I don't have a point. Yeah, Sherlock. So here's the poll to do. Will you go to the old religious service this Easter? I have paint that will be drying. So some people feel like that this belief system is not for them, and they'd rather enjoy a different belief system, which is fine, whatever you're into. Paul, looking forward to it. Heaven would be boring as fuck. Alright. A lot of people believe that hell would be a lot more interesting place because all the rock stars that are going to hell, you know what I mean? Heaven, what's heaven? Full of fucking old women and fucking unborn fucking kids or something. Do-gooders. That's no crack. Give me some fucking rap music. It'd be grand. And Sheila Blofeld says definitely not. Jeepers. David Norman says it's funny because there are no atheists on a sinking ship. Jeez, it's funny because there are no atheists on a sinking ship. Jeez, that's interesting. Picture of Parnell Pierce here or something. Irish revolutionary leader, and he says, questioned them all personally. As ships went down, did we? Questioned them all personally. As the ships went down, did we? I don't know what he's on about, sorry. Maybe you guys understand. Farmono says, most definitely yes. I love my saviour. There's a woman who loves a bit of mass. HSE staff, question mark. I love them too. Oh! So there's a controversial. We love the leader, says someone else. Brilliant. Nick says, in response, will you be listening to the service online? Says, no, as I don't believe in religion. Jeepers. See a lot of angry people here who are just kind of venting their frustrations. Who knows? Well, religions exist nonetheless, yeah. Like, there's people who want that, and that's fucking fair play to them. There's people who want to fucking do heroin and bang their head off the wall, and that's, if they want to do that, fucking let them at it, you know. Graham Manning. Yep, but thankfully their sky fairies don't. Alright. Sandra Durf Duffy says, not on your Nelly. The best thing about my last kid finishing school was I never having to set foot in a Catholic institution again. Man, I went to college and it was one of the most disgusting experiences of my life because I was forced to learn off a load of religious songs. I didn't have a clue what they were saying, and if I refused to do it, I was threatened with expulsion and all the rest of it. So people being actually forced into pretending to praising some weird ass evil entity that I know nothing about, being literally forced into a religion. I thought it was a public college. No, it was some kind of weird ass. This happens to people all the time, man. You think you're just going something and it turns out to be fucking religious, and you're like, oh Jesus, just paid for this. They didn't really make it clear that it was a religious head bashing thing. I don't know. I was just personally, people don't question basic beliefs. It's just like, anyway, sure, listen. David Brennan says, oh no. Carol Fannin says, most definitely yes. I love the Saviour. But as I said, I know I'm just wrecking your head right now, but I'm very jealous of people with religion because I wish I could be that gullible. I know that sounds fucking, it'd be so handy, like, just be like, oh yeah, it's a lad in the sky, everything happens for a reason, and accepting no responsibility for your own actions. Just going, it's meant to be. But as I said, I'm highly biased. I've a grudge in my shoulder against religion, you know, so they could do no right. The Lord could come down and save me, and I'd still have a grudge in my shoulder, you know, that kind of way. Like, they can't do anything right because I got a personal vendetta, and that's something to consider as well. Like, are you making the decision emotionally, which I am purely emotionally? It seems like a purely emotional decision, religion. It doesn't seem like facts apply. Facts don't apply to religion. It's just... But facts don't really apply to relationships either, do they? Ah, they do though. They're just lurking in the skies. Yes, you already mentioned that. Who is, by the way? Fermana says, well, it's all about... It's a bit mad, isn't it? What's it all about? It's a bit mad, isn't it? Yeah. Very good. Derek says, I'd rather watch the neighbour's dogs hump. Yeah. John Kavanagh says, you can get therapy for that now. Can the dogs? Says someone else. That's fucking brilliant. Cosmonical says, this time I'm going to refrain from putting the boot into deluded, nonsensical, zero-based evidential indoctrination. See, it can be done. Stephen Gallagher says, I will be whether you believe or not. See, there's it's all for... Can you imagine having, like... I was going to use the Muslim faith because I don't know much about it. Can you imagine just being forced to be Muslim? Can you imagine that? And if you don't follow the Muslim faith, you could get kicked out of your education system. Man, my actual grades on my actual fucking degree were dictated by how well I sung a religious song, and I didn't get a choice. I protested against it, and I was told, listen, I didn't show up to fucking a religious thing, and they threatened me with having to repeat the year. They threatened me with... they docked my marks down to 40%. They told me I'd have to repeat the year. They did an actual illegal act because I wasn't the same religion as them. That's my own interpretation, but I do feel it's fucking disgusting to have a governmental institution get masqueraded as a governmental institution when really you're just fucking trying to brainwash people with religion. And the people there thought they were doing the right thing. They thought we needed fucking saving. I was just there to learn music. But I don't know. God's part of culture, innit? But it's only part of one culture. I said, I was brought up with religion, so I understand what it's like to fucking be scared of things you can't see and so on. I just felt resentment for... you know yourself. Everyone has their own fucking resentment. Stephen Gallagher, I will be whether you believe or not. The Catholic in Ireland is rapidly disappearing while all our religions are flourishing in Ireland. At the moment, it's part of who we are as a people. Forget what Easter is all about. Easter Sunday, you can go fucking hang yourself. Sorry, just not interested. Just fuck off. Richard, Easter is just another pagan tradition stolen by the Catholic Church. Very, very true. Cooligan says, is this pay for view? Fucking is. It's pray per view. That's very good. I enjoyed that. So, Catalan blah. No, because these lads have the balls to ask every taxpayer bailout while the Vatican sits on billions and billions of revenue. That's fucking might be true. Who knows? Nope. Lord of the Rings. It's a true story, lol. Our opius... apparently, there's a massive boom in Ireland from the last census in Jedis. Like Star Wars Jedis, because people are like, listen, if you want to believe in fucking ridiculous stuff, may as well go all out, give me a lightsaber, like. Sean Salomon, Door, these that voted no, you won't need matches where you were going. Excellent example of Christian religious values in response to that one. Door off head case. Yeah. Yes, ramen. I don't know what are these comments even saying. I'd rather watch my father getting out of the bath. Jesus, what a fucking image. Joe Toner says that vision could have detrimental effects on you for the rest of your life. Don't look. Oh my god. Mitch Connor says no. I'll have a nice juicy steak tomorrow. Garrett says collection via PayPal. Yeah, it's mad because priests believe that they're doing the best for the people, and they just want to do the best as well. And they put people like me just villainising them, but a lot of these people just want to do good for people. Do you know what I mean? It's there's so many sides to fucking everything. It's fucking head wrecking. Everyone has a horse in the race, like. To be Rosie, I have to wash the dog. Neil McCanty would prefer to chew on broken glass. Jesus. Fergus O'Connor. So there's a lot of resentment, just if you try to force anyone to do anything, you can imagine how annoyed would you be if I tried to force you to be vegan? You'd just be fucking raging. I wouldn't blame you. It's not for everyone. Religion's not for everyone. Fergus O'Connor. Is there anything to be said for saying another mass? Father Ted quote. I think the last one went down very well. Hail Satan, says New Bob. Devis Payne says, I don't think it will be enjoyable or beneficial to me. Yeah. Man, if you ever go to mass, it's just like, it really puts you down. It really fucking puts you down. Aoife O'Shea, I would rather put needles in my eyeballs. As you can tell, it's a bit of resentment here. Just because we don't live in a... None of us signed up for this. Like, I chose to leave, and I still have to listen to fucking church bells going off every day. It's like, if you have an ex-boyfriend or something, you just want them to fuck off, and yet they're fucking everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Just fuck off. Anyway, but what's mad is everyone thinks they're right. You go to a different country, and they'll play their own religious bells, and people have their own religious ceremonies. And am I being disrespectful? People are, I'm constantly changing my mind. Everyone else is changing their mind. Sherlock. What a wonderful world. How did that come about? ? Turum says, just park that there. Alright, Tom, would rather let me ma take a dump on me chest, to be honest. Yeah, you would rather your mom taking a shit in your chest than having to go to fucking mass. Like, would you ever? Brainwashing. Fucking disgusting, honestly. Sorry. That's fucking disgusting, honestly. It's fucking gross. There's been so many times I've fucking, growing up, fucking cried and fucking felt all sorts of disgusting feelings, felt like I was dirty and all this stuff, just because of fucking priests telling me all the fucking shit that they shouldn't have been telling me. Nothing untoward, right? And just basic, we're all sinners and fuck off, like. Welfare sports. Alright. Anyway, please excuse me. Here, there's meant to be a fucking travel ban, but it's grand if you're driving around fucking blaring religious texts out your fucking window. I don't know, man. Essential workers. Sorry. Listen, I'm in a bit of a huff today, alright? Just, yourself. I'm getting a bit upset about the guards being everywhere. And, just feeling like a fucking criminal for just being alive, like just fucking walking inside the fucking gaff and getting questioned. It's good for everyone, but it's just like, I don't like feeling like a fucking criminal when I'm doing my best to keep the peace. Just, I'm a lad who go out of his way to obey the law to at least the best of my abilities, like. You don't need that fucking stress of fucking going to jail, hanging over. You're like, just trying to get through the fucking day. Everyone's just trying to get through the fucking day. Even the drug dealers or whatever the fuck you're into. Or fucking... Anyway. Someone died of coronavirus. Surprise. I shed another tear when I look Dublin man last goodbye to brother from bench at hospital window. Yeah, people dying. Gross. A lot of people dying. And you can't see them when they die. Yeah. Anyway. It's very... Tesco said it's now prioritising elderly and those most in need for online shopping. Yeah. Alright. Please don't politicise the virus. Who responds to Trump's threat of defund World Health Organization? World Health Organization have been caught doing a lot of dodgy shit, and they're constantly posting on YouTube. Just get advice from World Health Organization. I don't know. It's kind of hard to know. I wasn't there. I don't know the lads, so it's kind of hard to know. I'm being paranoid about something I've no business being paranoid about. Do you know what I mean? So it's just mad. It's all about what you think about and how you think about it. Yeah. I don't know, lad. I do enough giving out for fucking 10 men. But it's hard to know, like, am I just giving out, or am I just, experiment with thoughts? Because when you experiment with thoughts, you risk the run of being offended and offending everyone else. If you're sitting with someone, you can't be like, oh, religion's a lot of cock, because maybe they're religious and that people died, and the only thing keeping them going is fucking religion, and you're destabilizing their entire belief system, causing them to question everything they've ever believed in, and so on. And it's people don't like having them things questioned. Oh darling. So I hope you enjoyed the emotional roller coaster. That was a little bit of stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Global coronavirus, it's getting worse, Grant. Just read the news here. You get the idea. Sorry, what's this? Alright. I'm just starting to know where Oxfam are getting this money from. 5 billion, whoa. If only the world's richest corporations somehow owed us nearly 3 times that amount. Whoa. Irish government is using taxes to help Apple apparel. Yeah. Apple owes like stupid amount of money to Ireland because it hasn't been paying its corporate tax, I think it is. Along with Facebook have been proven that they were breaking international law, data protection, and Facebook and stuff are creating massive amounts of jobs and employment, and at the end of the day, cash is king. So, and everyone's on Facebook, so they're too big to take down, not right? But it's all fine. Without it, we wouldn't be talking to those arseholes who we decided not to talk to when we were growing up, and we got to spy on those fucking ex-mates who used to be friends with on Facebook. See that they're having a lot of kids and all that, and they're living in Australia. Stalking all them people. Yeah. One of the best things I've ever done is just get off fucking Facebook, lad. Fucking social media. I just get on posts, get off. Because all people's insecurities are just amplified in fucking social media. People looking for Indian drone shot down in Kashmir for conducting surveillance. Yeah. Everyone's spying on everybody, baby. Dakes, drones, and high-tech cops. Robots come out on top, aimed at coronavirus pandemic. Yep, drones. In China, there was drones going around, and they're saying, "Hey, go home, stop playing cards." And this was months ago. Alright. Ukrainian footballer's wife could face jail time for showing her underpants while singing the national anthem. National anthem is just a song made up by some man or woman, and just like flags, it's a load of fucking bollocks when you think about it. It's just made up by some lad. It's not what the thing. Anyway, it's right. Listen, yes, lifestyle bollocks and so on, but it's a bit of crack as well. So enjoy yourself. It's a beautiful day. Lovely bit of coffee there to be had. Music, tunes. What was it? Fucking. I don't have religion, but I have music and fucking the old smoking. And I can't remember what else my holy trinity is. But listen, have a great day. All the best. Vegan Steven Podcast.